Hiring and retaining the right people is the single most important thing Citizen Schools can do to grow its reach and extend its impact to serve more students. Jim Collins, author of Good to Great, stated, "Those who build great companies understand that the ultimate throttle on growth for any great company is not markets or technology or competition or products. It is one thing above all others, the ability to get and keep enough of the right people." Most managers feel like they are good at hiring the right people. It's like driving. More than 75% of drivers think they're better than average drivers. The math doesn't work, and the same is true with hiring. Dr. Brad Smart explains that hiring managers are successful at selecting a high-performing employee less than 25% of the time. Think about the math here. If you, as a manager, inherited 10 low performers and wanted to replace all of them, how many people would you have to hire and fire if your success rate is 25%? That is, before you got a team of all high performers. The answer is 40. You would have to hire 40 to get 10, and then you would have to fire 40, the first 10, and then the 30 others you mishired along the way. This is too much disruption, too much transition, and too much wasted time when we could be productive. There needs to be a better way of hiring, and this relies on a tight collaboration between hiring managers and the talent team to leverage tools that improve our success rate and yield high performers with consistency. Our goal is 100% of the time. Luckily, there is an easy solution. Stop hiring mainly for skill and start hiring for attitude. Research shows that by far the main reasons why employees don't thrive and succeed as high performers are because of personality traits, such as emotional intelligence, motivation, and temperament. Here are the 5 main reasons for discharge. 26% coachability. The individual struggles to accept and implement feedback. 23% emotional intelligence. The individual has challenges understanding and managing their own feelings and/or assessing the feelings of others. 17% motivation, insufficient drive to achieve excellence. 15% temperament, displays of attitude or personality that is not aligned with the work environment. Only 11% are because of technical competence, functional or technical skills required to do the job. The sessions that follow this introduction offer you the skills and knowledge needed to hire for attitude. But before we dive in, I would like to give you some insights into the core competency framework that Citizen Schools has developed as a reflection of what leaders and stakeholders feel are key to top performance within the organization. These are our core competencies and are the basis of hiring for attitude at Citizen Schools. There are 3 parts to the Citizen Schools competency model. Core competencies define key attitudes and behaviors that are fundamental to success within the organization, regardless of role. These are the competencies related to hiring for attitude, and they must be weighted more than any others. The next parts of the model relate to management, leadership, and functional competencies. These relate to skills or experience, and while important to ensuring new hires can hit the ground running, are not indicative of long-term success in the job. Remember, only 11% of hiring mistakes are made because of the inability of the new hire to perform the duties assigned. Skills can be learned on the job, and it is attitude that determines success assimilating into the culture and performing job duties in the manner desired by the organization. We still want to assess skills and experience, though, because they give us information on what the candidate knows coming in. Certainly, it's better to hire a candidate who excels at our core competencies and also is advanced in the functional, management, or leadership competencies specific to their role. What is important is that we never prefer functional, management, or leadership competence over an ability to demonstrate our core competencies, which represent the attitude to be successful at Citizen Schools. So what are the core competencies, and how did we arrive at them? There are 6 core competencies, each further identified by a series of key behaviors. These 6 competencies were identified at Citizen Schools through exemplar studies of high-performing and lower-performing employees and service members in roles located throughout our national footprint: HQ, regional offices, campuses, and even new site development. Time and time again, managers, peers, and organization executives named these 6 traits, sometimes using different words, as common to top performers and consistently missing from employees who struggle at Citizen Schools. We will go into more detail about these competencies during the rest of the module, focusing in on how to recognize these traits in the candidates you meet at interview. The core competencies are communication, cultural competence, growth mindset, service mindset, excellence, and teamwork. Communication not only requires you to present a message clearly and actively listen to your audience, but also includes the ability to adapt. Adaptation is the ability to change tone, style, and message based on the audience, all while considering who you are speaking to and how they comprehend your message. The following short video demonstrates an exemplar of the core competency communication and the key behavior of adaptation.
Hi, my name is Catherine and I'm going to talk about adaptation. In my role here at Citizen Schools, I have 2 primary objectives. The first is corporate fundraising, and the second is to recruit citizen teachers from the corporate industry from a variety of sectors. Here in the Bay Area, I work with dozens and dozens of individuals, each of whom has a very different way of communicating. In my role, I always have to think about how do I build a relationship with this person, and what is their preferred method of communication? Depending on that, I adapt my style and my tone. On any given day, I'm either leading a very formal presentation, which is data-driven, which allows me to communicate the impact and the effectiveness of the Citizen Schools program, or I am having a more casual sit-down conversation, for example, at a coffee shop, talking to a person and trying to convince them to get excited about teaching our middle school students. Whatever the method, I'm always thoughtful about how that person listens best and how they receive information in the best possible way.
Cultural competence is both an awareness of and respect for your own cultural differences and the differences of others in ways that helps to include, honor, and fully engage multiple perspectives. Showing respect to others and being inclusive of different perspectives is easy to understand in concept, but takes more work to execute in practice. It is a skill all of us need to continue to lean into. Cultural awareness requires awareness of diverse cultural backgrounds and an effort to understand them, as well as the ability to name your own bias and think about the ways that your culture can impact your perspectives and behaviors. An exemplar of the core competency, cultural competence, and key behavior of cultural awareness is featured in the following video.
Hola, my name is Priscilla Pomorata, and I want to share a story with you. About 2 months into living here in the United States, somebody asked me, how does it feel to be a person of color in the United States? This question really struck me. I've never been asked that before, and I actually grew up in Puerto Rico, so amongst Puerto Rican, and there I was part of the majority, and I self-identify as white. So being in a space where I was now being identified as another ethnic group, for me, was a big shocker. It was the first time that I realized that it had nothing to do with the way that I identify myself, but as others were identifying me. And that came with the assumptions of what that group of people meant in that environment. I explained to this person that I grew up as white and that's how I identify myself. And after 5 years of living here, I embrace that and also embrace all the culture of Latin America that it is here in Boston and across the United States. I engage in many events and participate very actively as I continue to be extremely proud of my heritage.
Growth mindset requires that you seek challenge and feedback from a perspective of humility. To truly embody the competency, though, the drive for growth must be fueled by genuine curiosity, a desire to understand how things work. Curiosity is the ability to find motivation in the drive for knowledge, an embodiment of a genuine love of learning. The following short video demonstrates an exemplar of the core competency growth mindset and key behavior of curiosity.
Hi, my name is Angie Jaimes, and I'm going to speak about curiosity. When I began at Citizen Schools 2 years ago, I was given a project to purchase technology for our region for a grant. The easiest thing I could have done was to purchase what I thought we needed, which from word of mouth I understood to be computers. But then I thought, this is a great opportunity to really learn about what our region needs. And this is also a great opportunity to think about what relationships I could form and what information I could gather for our region long term. So what could we use over not just this year, but the next year and the third year? So I decided to use this as an opportunity to really do a lot of inquiry and approached each campus leader to ask, what do they need? What do our students need? What do our teaching fellows need? And what do you need that's the highest priority? Not just for this year, but over the next 3 years. So at the end of all of this informational gathering, I came back, sat down, worked with a couple of different departments to do pricing, to do storage modeling, to think about how can we keep this technology long term, how could we report on it after we utilize it the first year, what would depreciation look like over the next couple of years, to really think about what technology as a region we needed to prioritize and best help our campuses.
Service mindset is a true belief in the Citizen Schools mission and its ability to drive student achievement and close the opportunity gap through the effective stewardship of available resources. Purpose, a key behavior of service mindset, is the understanding of individual effort and how it aligns to the greater Citizen Schools mission. It's often easy to get caught up in the challenges and tasks we perform each day at work. What we do at Citizen Schools is much greater than a collection of the tasks we perform or the challenges we overcome. How we recognize the impact we have on the lives of others and align this to our sense of purpose as an individual is fundamental to our ability to sustain our efforts to reform a system that is broken in so many ways. The following short video demonstrates an exemplar of the core competency service mindset and key behavior of purpose.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I'm going to share with you a story about purpose. I served as a campus director for 2 years, and in those 2 years, I was able to form a really great relationship with a student named Christelle and her mom. Christelle struggled academically and really had a spicy attitude. Through working with her and forming a strong relationship and really identifying with her as a recently immigrated student from Haiti, we were able to work through some of those challenges and really get her to a place where she was self-sufficient and able to support herself. 2 years later, I'm no longer a campus director, but I still support Christelle and her mom. About a month ago, I was actually at the same school doing a parent-teacher conference and facilitating and translating for her and her mom. Christelle has improved drastically, but still has her spicy attitude and still has her hard days. And when I think about purpose in our work, this is really what it's about. Giving your 100% and showing up and understanding that it's bigger than you. It's bigger than a paycheck. It's bigger than those really long, hard days, and it's bigger than those tough moments. It's really looking deep within yourself and realizing it's actually not about you. It's about this purpose, our mission, and servicing students and families in a way that helps them to succeed and be great. And that's really what purpose is about.
Excellence is the commitment to bringing your best to work each day and striving for standards of success regardless of circumstance. A commitment to excellence is a focus on results, not effort. It means quickly recovering from setbacks in ways that allow for continued focus on quality without delay and a continued determination to achieve the desired outcome without compromise. A key behavior of excellence is action, the ability to step up and get things done when called upon, an eagerness to get started on a challenge or task. The following short video demonstrates an exemplar of the core competency excellence, the key behavior of action.
Hi, I'm Adam Maurer. I'm the Chief Talent Officer. I'm here to talk about the core competency of excellence and the key behavior of action. A good example of that is Anthony Thompson, who is a teaching fellow in New York, who in his very first year, before he even started the fellowship, referred 10 members of his network to the Bring a Friend to Serve campaign, not only just referring them, but helping them every step in the process to connect with the organization. And now in his second year, he's helping us to developed the cohort by connecting us with universities that are local to New York. And again, not just making a referral, but helping to connect us with professors and looking for ways that we can authentically talk about the fellowship with students and connect them with the experience. So that's a great example of action.
Teamwork goes beyond working well with others. It's the desire and ability to reflect on your words and actions and to see the impact they have on others around you. It starts with the recognition that more can be achieved through collaboration and that it's often worth compromise and always worth respect and self-control to gain the benefits of the perspectives, talents, and connections of others. Exemplars in teamwork first look inwards, understanding that their behaviors drive their ability to work with others. Accountability and self-control, holding oneself to high standards of behavior are all key to teamwork, while supporting and celebrating the success of others. Key to teamwork is the way in which you interpret the behaviors of others. The following short video demonstrates an exemplar of the core competency teamwork and key behavior of generosity of spirit.
Hi, I'm Jill Smirkers. And to me, generosity of spirit is assuming the best in others and taking an asset-based approach to working with colleagues. In my role, I have a key colleague that I really rely on to deliver HR services to staff at Citizen Schools. And though he and I work really well together, we have different approaches in the way we execute our work based on the positions that we're in. And from time to time, this can mean that our pacing or our priorities may differ. When I notice this may be happening, I'm always purposeful to check in with him, on competing priorities or projects or, information that I may be able to provide so that he's better positioned to execute on a project that I really need him to. And I know he really appreciates this approach, rather than assuming he may be skirting work or, not thinking that what I'm asking him to do is important. And so I know that this, approach allows us to complete work, more effectively, collaboratively, and, produce a better result, as a result of that collaboration. So to me, this really is, sort of the definition of generosity of spirit.